Line K is defined by y equal to 3x plus 15. Line J is perpendicular to line K in the xy plane. What is the slope of line J? Now, very quickly, if the two lines are perpendicular, we know that m1, meaning the slope of the first line, times slope of the second line, has to be equal to -1. So they should be negative reciprocals of each other. Okay, so if we look at this one, y equal to 3x plus 5, we know that m1, meaning the slope of this line, is going to be 3. So that means the other one is going to be negative 1 over 3. Okay. A mixture consisting of only vitamin D and calcium has a total mass of 150 grams. So what do we have here? Since we're working on two variables, so we've got vitamin D and calcium. So I'll put D and C together are 150 grams. The mass of the vitamin D in the mixture is 50 grams. What is the mass in? Okay, very simple question. That's why it's under easy. So C is going to be 150 minus 50. And that's going to be 100. Okay, very easy, too easy, probably for most of you, hopefully. But the fact that you have to extract it from Word, actually, there's a lot of students are struggling with it, so it might worth practice. Which y equal to x plus 4, which table gives 3 values of x and their corresponding values of y for the given equation? This is just basically testing it out to see which table is actually correct. You can plug in the values. So every answer has 3. That means you might, in the worst case scenario, you have to check 4 times 12 different answers. But usually some of them give it away very easily. They all have 0, so you can see 0, 0, 0, 0. And we see that whenever you plug in 0, you get 0 plus 4. So y equals to 0 plus 4. Which is just 4. And the only answer we have for that is actually A. Line P is defined by 2y plus 18x equal to 9. Line R is perpendicular to line P, again perpendicular. What is the slope of line R? So this is basically same question as the first one, but you might say why this is under medium, because it's not in the shape of y equal to mx plus b yet. So you might be tempted to grab 18 as the radius, as the slope, but it's not. And the good thing is there isn't even 18 here, so it's not that confusing. Could have been, there could be -1 over 18 in the answers, and you could easily pick that one. So let's bring it into that shape. 2y plus 18x equal to 9. We can write 2y equal to 9 minus 18x, or if it makes it easier for you, negative 18x plus 9. Okay, I need to get rid of 2 from here, so let's divide both sides by 2. Y equal to negative, is it negative? Yes, negative 9x plus 9 over 2. I don't need to calculate that. So this is for line 1. So the other one is going to be negative reciprocal of this one. So if m1 is equal to negative 9, which is here, the m2 is going to be positive because it's negative reciprocal, 1 over 9. So the answer is going to be C. The graph in the xy plane models the possible combination of length x in meters and width y in meters. So width represented by y and length is represented by x. For a rectangle with a perimeter of 36, and which statement is the best interpretation of point 8 and 10? So 8 and 10, right here they marked it for us. So this rectangle we're talking about. Now we know the x line is length, so the length is going to be this part, 8, and the width is going to be 10, which is a bit strange because length needs to be greater than what? Greater than the width, but according to this graph and the naming, the length is 8 and the width is 10. Isabel ordered topsoil and crushed stone, which cost a total of $641 for her garden. The given equation represents the relationship between the number of cubic yards of topsoil, X, and the number of tons of crushed stone, Y, Isabel ordered. How much more in dollars did a ton of crushed stone cost Isabel than a cubic yard of topsoil? Now, this is a confusing question. It's actually a very easy question, but I've seen a lot of students confuse this because it seems a bit strange. Now, the only thing we need to understand here is, what does this equation represent? Okay, now what does 24.5x mean? Now, they tell us what x is. X is the number of cubic yards of topsoil. So if you get, for example, 1 cubic yard of topsoil, right? It will be just 24 times 5 in dollar amount. Yes, if you get 2, it'll be times 2, etc. Same goes for 24.75y. So basically, we are saying 1 cubic yard of topsoil is actually, the other one is with ton, so y with ton, but doesn't matter. So 1 cubic yard of topsoil costs us 24.5. If you get 5 cubic yard, you will do 5 times that. Okay, same goes for the crushed stone. 1 ton is 24.75, and 1 cubic if you get 5, you'll just take 5 and times it by 24.75. So what the question says, how much more in dollars did a ton of crushed stone cost Isabel than the cubic yard of topsoil? So if you get 1 of each, so 1 ton of crushed stone, which is 24.75, how much more will that be if you get 1 cubic yard of topsoil, which is 24.5? So the answer is going to be 0 to 25 in dollar amount. Again, you see the calculation part is very easy, but coming to that conclusion could be a bit tricky. The table gives coordinates of 2 points on a line in the xy plane. The y-intercept of the line is k minus 5 and b, where k and b are constant. What is the value of b? Okay, we're given 2 points, yes, k 13 and k plus 7, negative 15. Now, this one here is a big tell of where to start. We know y-intercept means x is equal to 0, right? And the question says the y-intercept of the line is k minus 5 and b. So we know that k minus 5 and b, we know that if it's a y-intercept, this needs to be 0. So k minus 5 has to be equal to 0. K is equal to 5. Now I can plug it into original equation, which means I'll have 0 and 13 as my point, and 5 plus 7 is 12, and negative 15. So now I have 2 points. If I have 2 points, I can use the slope-intercept form to find my equation. But before that, I need to find my slope. So the slope is going to be y2 minus y1, negative 15 minus 13, divided by 12 minus 0, and that's going to be not 0. Did I do something wrong? Yes, I did. This one needs to be 5. So 12 minus 5. Negative 28 divided by 7, so negative 4. That's my slope. Now I can say slope-intercept form, y plus 15, I use the second point, equal to negative 4, x minus what? 12, which is negative 4x plus 48. So y is going to be equal to negative 4x plus 48 minus 15, and that's going to be 33. So what is the value of b? The value of b is going to be 33. The graph of the equation ax plus ky is equal to 6 is a line in the xy plane where a and k are constants. If the line contains the points this, what is the value of k? So these 2 points are on the line. So if we have a line like that, so they gave us 2 points. Well, actually they're negative, but doesn't matter. 2 points. And if we know them, we can find actually everything about the line, right? We can find slope, etc., etc., etc. But let's see what we need. Maybe we don't need them. We need ax plus ky, and we're looking for k. So we have two pairs of x and y. So let's use them. -2, -6. If I plug it into the equation, I'll get, what do I get? -2a minus 6y equal to 6. And if I plug in 0, -3, I will get, what will I get? I will get, first one will be 0, other one 3y equal to 6. Now, I was thinking we're going to do simultaneous equation, but the second equation is actually solvable right away. So, -3y equal to 6, y equals to -2. And if I plug it in into the first equation, this will be -2a. That's not y, sorry, that's k. That's k. That's k. So -2a plus or minus, yes, plus 6 times 2, -6 times -2, which will be 12, is equal to 6. And from here, what can we say from here? -2a will be equal to -6, right? So a is going to be equal to 3. So, actually we didn't even need a. So k is equal to -2, but we found it anyways. Okay, k is 2, a is 3, so we have the whole equation. We turned to a different problem, but k we easily found it from the first attempt, -2. Line L is defined by 3y plus 12x equal to 5. Line N, this is L, this is N, is perpendicular line to L in the xy plane. What's the slope of the line? Now that's really, shouldn't really be part of hard, although it is. It's basically same question, I think question 2 or 3, right? So we have to say 3y equal to 5 minus 12x, and then we need to leave y alone with no coefficient, so we divide everything by 3. This is going to be 4x. So the slope of this line, so ML, meaning the slope of line L, is going to be -4, and the slope of line N is going to be negative reciprocal of that, so that's going to be not 4 but 1/4. Okay, good. So that concludes what I wanted to talk about regarding linear equations in two variables. These are just practice sessions. Again, use them as supplementary to what you're doing already with your tutor or on your own studying for your October exam. If you have any questions and certain topics that you want me to cover, whether it is doing problem sets or teaching material, please do let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.